Bess, will you say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Bessie, would you say hi to these people?
Hello.
Bessie! Say hi!
Hey.
Bessie! You are a cow for crying out loud! Say hi! There you go.
We're having our 26th annual Nebraska Children's Groundwater Festival. This is the 10th year that the Central Platte NRD has coordinated it, and so we're excited about that. But we have over 1,000 students here from all across the state, some coming as far as North Platte, here to learn about groundwater education. We have 35 different in-depth classrooms, so students learn for about 25 minutes at a time, and all those classrooms are hands-on, so they really get to understand what the presenters are teaching them. And then they also get to go to an exhibit hall, which is kind of a fun booth area where they get to play groundwater-related games. And then they also get to go to a stage show while they're here. We have a groundwater magician who actually does magic tricks with water and teaches about the different properties of water. And then we also have a man from Texas called the Critter Man who has brought different mammals up from Texas to teach about how groundwater is important to wildlife, not just in Nebraska, but nationwide. My favorite thing is hearing what the students learn. We do have evaluations that the students have to fill out, and so those are always fun to read. They're very, very honest. They tell us what they've learned, what they enjoyed about it. They really do retain it after many years. There's just such a large range of activities here. I really can't say there's one favorite.
Dad gave history programs out here at the Groundwater Festival when they first started. And after a couple, 3 years, he said, why don't you come along with me? And I don't know, this was 25 years ago probably. So I came with him and I did 2 or 3 years worth of programs with him. And then he retired, didn't do it anymore. Well, the folks back then said, we can't have a groundwater festival without a man like that. I don't understand why. But so I said, well, I can come, but can I do something different? And they said, what? And I said, I want to become Nebraska's tall tale hero, and he's got a lot of water stories, so I will do that. So that's what I've been doing for about 20 years. I'm very animated, as you well know, and I just tell all sorts of tall tales because he's Nebraska's tall tale hero. And so I get the kids up, I get them they sound like frogs, they jump up and down, they do all sorts of fun things. So 25 minutes of rock and roll, I guess, I don't know. I love kids. I taught for many, many years and was a principal for many, many years, and last May 24th I retired. And so this year, it's really special because I haven't been around kids for almost a year. And this is cool. I love being around these little kids and getting them to laugh. And so that's why I do it. And then they always get popcorn balls or Hershey bars, so they're all happy when they leave.
The first thing we take them through is we have sponges underneath, and it demonstrates for them how basically if you had wetlands, like it used to be when there's just a lot of wetlands, there's no parking lots and stuff, it would absorb a lot of the rain, and so there was very little runoff, or there was less runoff. And then we go to today, where you have maybe more parking lots, more concrete, and you're going to have more runoff. So the runoff, especially as it gets into low-lying areas, you know, there's the floodplain, which I teach them about floodplains and how eventually, you know, these floodplains will flood when you get a lot of runoff. See the houses flood, and then we say, okay, what can you do to help mitigate that? What can we do? So we talk about sandbagging short term, we talk about building levees in the long term, so we take clay, and then with the clay, we come down and we're able to kind of clear the water out of there. So we clear our little flood water out, and then we come in and we build some levees. So the kids will come and they'll build their levees, and we'll say, okay, do you think that'll work? And usually if they do a good job of building their levee, it'll work. Okay, that'll probably do it. I think we're good. So go ahead and pour some more water in. Then we do the demonstration again. And the levee, even when there's a lot of water coming down, helps to keep the flooding out of the floodplain. So that's one way to protect the floodplain. The kids are pretty smart. They say, hey, don't build there. We're like, yeah, that's exactly right. Don't build in the floodplains. Another kids have mentioned we need flood insurance. Buy insurance. That's another good option if you live in a floodplain. So don't build there first of all. But if you already have houses there, you better have insurance. And then there's ways to mitigate by floodplains. And another thing we talked about is we can build little retention ponds. And we talked about having different ponds and dams, and this is a retention pond, which can help to hold some of the water, so it can take more runoff, and then it controls the water, the rate at which the water is released, which also helps to mitigate flooding. So we talk about that, and we show them. Get kids all come and they pour water, the students. So it takes a while. It takes a lot of runoff to even fill the retention pond, and then once the pond's full, it comes out at a controlled rate.